Hey guys, Editor Candy here. I am going to be sharing with you guys a video of the homestead, as I call it, but essentially of our property and what we're planning to do with it. You know, I haven't been posting a lot of gardening videos lately. I do want to get back into it, and so I did film some little segments back around mid-October, and I'm finally getting them put together. They've been sitting in my drafts for a while, but I wanted to make sure that I could get that finally posted before the end of the year, and it's now the beginning of December. So yeah, I also repeated myself a couple times, and I did cut out a section that I had realized I completely repeated myself. But overall, I think it's going to give you a good idea of kind of what we are hoping to do over the next, like, I don't know, year or so. I guess I'm not going to say it's going to be done the next month, obviously, but like it's going to take some time to get through everything that I have to do outside. But if you're interested in seeing like the inside of the house as well, let me know, because we have a lot of projects we're doing on the inside. But anyways, all right, I'm gonna start the video. Hey guys, welcome back to 2 Acres in Texas. I thought I would share a little update video with you on something that Mike and I have decided to do with our property. And so I am going to kind of turn the camera around and just kind of explain to you the thought process behind everything. And then we'll go from there. So don't mind our house, it's a big old mess still. But let's see, so the shop's over there. And this is the side that we park on, and so we turned the garage into, my office is in the back half of the garage, and then Mike's got a, like his own space, like a man cave you could call it, where he plays games and watches TV and stuff in the front half of the garage. So we added windows to it, and we're working on, now that it's starting to cool off and it's fall, we're gonna probably get back to working on exterior projects again, because it's so hot in the summer. We try to do inside projects in the summer and outside projects in the fall and winter, essentially in spring. And so we need to continue wrapping the house. We're working on like siding it with concrete boards and then like a slurry to make it look like a concrete house. And so we're actually going to end up redoing at least that section over there. Needs to be done because he added the window there. And then over here we've replaced this like 3 times, the siding. When we get bad storms, it literally like it just ruins this so bad. So this whole section has rotted back out again, and so we have concrete going up to like right below the windows right here on the inside. We had taken out they had old slider doors when we moved in, and we replaced it with all these windows, which are great, but we had a concrete brick going up to about the windows, and then here it's not, it's just wood. So we have to take all this back out, and we're going to extend the concrete at the base across that section there, and then we're going to do the concrete boards that we're doing over there. So we're going to just do that instead, because this siding has warped I think 2 or 3 times now, and so we're tired of dealing with it. So we have to fix that. And then on this wall right here, we hadn't quite finished that, so we still need to do that. And then the gutters, everything needs to be cleaned out. It's been a year, I'll just put it that way. So but yeah, and then we also need to eventually get somebody to come and clean like the top of the roof for us. Mike might do it, but he's fallen off the roof and a ladder, and I really don't want him on the roof, but we'll see what happens. So anyways, at this point, that's something that we got to get done this winter, so we will be working on that. And our goal is to actually wrap all the way down, so you won't really see the concrete anymore. It's going to look more like that, although that's not quite finished yet. It's almost there. So that project had got put on hold for the hot summer, and so we're getting to the point where we could probably get to it again. I'm going to talk to you guys more, but I have to go back to work, so I'll be back after work to share a little bit more. Well, I just realized I still have like 5 minutes, so I guess I'll talk for about 5 more minutes. So my beautiful blackberries are here, the ones that we planted and I've shared with you guys before, and they are, I mean, this is mid-October, you guys, and it's huge. Like, this plant has, like, it continues to get bigger and bigger, and it's just taking over. So I know what variety, this is the Primark Freedom. that I found from the Millennial Gardeners channel, and so I will be buying more of these and planting them elsewhere so we have more blackberries. I will say the raccoons know about them and they will come and take my blackberries. I've noticed I caught them doing it one time. So anyways, what we're going to do is, currently our driveway comes around the house to this side, and then we go in and out this door, which don't mind. Like I said, we're going to be redoing all of this hopefully this winter, and Mike's going to build a really beautiful door here, but since we're going to change it to this being the back door, we might actually do something different, and then he'll build a beautiful door for the actual front of the house, which is over on that side of the living room. So this is going to actually end up being our backyard officially, which hasn't been, because the driveway literally comes down here and then they had the garage here. So it never was officially, like, this is like where people drive and park. So you're going to bring your groceries in here. So we've always used it as the front door, but it's on the back side of the house from where the street is. But we have decided that we're going to actually turn the yard on the front side, and I'll explain that in a, later in the video. I'll try to go around, but it's overgrown. So right now I'm going to be just explaining. So I'm going to be using this whole area, and we're going to frame up at the front of the house on that side of fence that goes across, and then the same thing on the other side of the house, so that this can actually be a fenced in backyard, and it goes all the way down there to the corner and then all the way on the other side of the house on that side. So this whole space will be turned into backyard slash garden, and we're going to do more gardening over here, because the other side we're going to do a different driveway situation, and then we want to get cows. And so I will still have some gardening on the front of the house that you've seen in my previous videos. But anyways, it is gorgeous today, you guys. It is October 9th, and it is literally absolutely beautiful out here, as you can see. The neighbors' cows were out the other day mooing at me. They thought I was going to bring them food. It was pretty funny, but the cows are all on the back side of the other fence over there. And then they use this field. We have a different neighbor that owns the fields right next to us, and he uses these fields for hay, and so he'll like grow the grass up and then cut it down. And so yeah, so anyways, but yeah, as you can see, like, I have that whole back corner over there. I had gardened in there at one point, but the ants kind of took over every freaking garden space that I have, so I haven't really done a lot of gardening. So this winter it's going to be a lot of clear up, clean up. The woodshed is back there, which I don't know if we're going to move it or just keep it for like a woodshed. I'm not sure yet. And we re-roofed the shop, but we still have to redo siding. The siding's really bad. So we painted it, but it's really bad. Eventually we're going to have to just completely redo the sides, or we might just metal over it so it doesn't rot anymore. Yeah, so I think I'm almost out of time. So I will continue in a different video. Or not a different video, but later in the video. Alright guys, I took us down by the highway, so it's going to be a little bit loud. And I wanted to share with you guys kind of the rest of this envisioning project of what's to come on our property. As you can see, it's quite overgrown, and we did burn a tree that we had cut down. We had a bunch of tree stumps. So like this section, it was a huge tree when we moved here, and it did die after a couple of years. It was probably like as big as these trees over here, and so it was a big pile. So now it's a big hill, and we still have more burning to do, but it got into the summertime, and so we decided to just let it go, and like it literally overgrew this much. But also at the same time, the crew that came in and cut this tree down, this whole area is really soft ground, and they formed like really big deep dirt, like gutted like kind of like sections out of the ground. So it's really hard to like just do the lawnmower straight over it. So I ended up letting it go near the end of like springtime, I guess you could say. And then I never just ended up doing this side, and then we got a flat tire on our lawnmower, and it's just been overgrown since. So I decided to let it go. I'm sure that the bugs, the butterflies, and all the bugs have been absolutely loving all of this, which is fine because I'll be able to get through it later. But something that's going to be happening too is we have decided that we want to, my husband's really serious about getting a couple of cows, which we did some research and we're pretty sure we can get at least 2 cows, or just 2 cows, 1 or 2, but we think 2 is fine. We did speak to somebody that does run cattle, and they said that the area, he came and even looked, and he said that the area that we have enough for 2. So we're probably going to end up fencing, like our fence to our gate to our property is right here, and the power lines are here. So what we're probably going to do, and the reason for this is because it's kind of hard to see, but right about here-ish is our neighbor's new fence. You can't really see it very well, but maybe if I zoom in, I think right where that stump is, it might be over. I'd have to climb up there. I'm not going to go through all those bushes. But anyways, basically the government came in and bought that, like, right out here around the light pole basically, but like that little kind of like triangular corner of our property, they took it. So they came in and they offered us, they wanted it because they're apparently going to do some kind of passing lanes on our highway. I don't know what they need this for, to be honest. It's kind of, I feel like it's stupid, but again, I'm not a planner. So, and then they took the front of our neighbor's property going across, and he just uses his land for hay. He grows it out and then mows it and bales it up. So anyways, so like this front part of our property right here is ours, and then it's going to be a weird triangle that goes back. So where he put in his new fence line, which I almost think it's actually right there where that tree is. If you can see it, it's really hard to see through the bushes. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but anyways, so it's like right about there. And so from that point, we're gonna bring a fence across, all the way across. My car is here, so it's very dirty. And then our gate is here. So we're gonna have a fence that goes across down here. And then that front, even though it's still our property, we're gonna like we'll mow it, but I'm gonna put up, I think, like crepe myrtles or bamboo or something that will like basically grow up taller. And then if they cut it back for like the power line stuff, then that's fine. But just something to kind of help block out the sounds of the highway is what my goal is, I think. So anyways, and then we're going to take this whole section. I don't know if I'm zoomed in, so let's go back. Okay, so then we're going to take from like here-ish and then all the way back to our fence line, which is where those trees are at, and then all the way up past, and I'll share with you when I get up there, but it's going to be way up there, past that tree right there, to the right. So it's going to be way up there, and then we're going to go a fence across, straight across. So like this area is probably about an acre, I would say, maybe a little over an acre potentially, but I would say it's probably estimated to be an acre. So we're gonna fence that in for the cows, and then I'm thinking that we'll fence in this whole side as well, so that our driveway will be fenced on, like both sides will have a fence, and then one side, and we can just walk the cows across, have a gate that comes across the driveway, so we can open up one side and open up the other and just have the cows shift over and let them go back and forth for grazing. And I think that will be sufficient for 2 cows, and that would give us meat and stuff like that, so that would be good. And so this whole section, even though it's a skinnier section, all the way up past the big tree there. So I'm gonna go up the driveway and then share kind of from that side. Okay, so now you can see my shadow, but now I'm looking back down the driveway where I was just at. And so these are the 2 trees I was pointing out where the cows would come up to. So we do have a big garbage can dumpster that they come and pick up every week. So I'm thinking that what we're gonna do, and if you've been following me, then you know that our like this whole section is where my watermelons were grown at, essentially like right down here. And you can see how high this section's grown up. And I do have a woven mat underneath some of this, more in the back section, so it's not as tall over there, but this front section isn't. So yeah, I have a lot of work cut out. I have not done any gardening like at all in the last year. So I guess you can call it the Jubilee year of rest for my property, because Candy had a rest. So anyways, So this is where I think when they come up the driveway, and then at this tree is where we'll cut off for the cows and have like a little shaded area under this tree that they can lounge to for this side. And then I'll have it where the garbage truck can just do his little backup, because he backs up our driveway, which is kind of funny. And then just have him back up, and then he can just angle right over here and do like a little angled, and I'm pretty sure it'll work, and we'll talk to him about this. But and then we'll have the garbage, our dumpster, over against this section over here. And then from that point up, I can still do some gardening, kind of like up to where my car is at and past the light pole right there. And then on this side, so this would still all be cows. It does, because the way the shape of the driveway, it's skinnier down there than it is up here. So like our driveway curves. So over here, it's actually wider, which is why I think it's at least an acre, maybe a little more. And so what we're thinking is all the way past this tree. And then once you get past this tree, is kind of what I'm thinking is we're gonna, we've discussed this in depth now, is that at this point, somewhere right around here, we're gonna create a driveway, because currently the driveway goes all the way up past the house and curls around to the front side of the house. But what we're thinking is we'll have our driveway do a slope this way. And so between this trees here, and then I'll come around this bush. But like essentially we had a fire, we've burned stuff in this section too. So we'll clear it all out, and then we'll be able to drive straight up between these trees, kind of at like the driveway will go like this. And then it will come up through where my tomatoes were, which is that big bushy section there, which also has a woven mat. I'm gonna have to dig it, I'm gonna have to pull it all out. But essentially the goal is to get the front more of a driveway and block off the back to where I can then do my gardening up on the back side. But I'll still have some garden spaces here like I have, and then I can still do some gardening here. But the goal is to do the driveway up towards the front of the house and actually use this side of the house as the front door. So we'll probably replace the slider at some point and put in a real like front door looking situation again. But that's kind of our new goal, is to kind of plan this out and then hopefully just start driving it, and then eventually put in a driveway of some kind. But it would go all the way up past the tree at the front of the house, curve back around. Well, hello, Angel. One of the kitties always comes out to say hi. So then of course my garden is very overgrown, as you can see, and even the grass, because I have a flat tire on my lawnmower and I'm hoping to get it fixed this weekend or sometime in the next week. But my car also needs a new tire, so I'm gonna have to put 2 tires on the car. I wasn't gonna replace tires till next year, but now I'm kind of being forced to start replacing my car tires, and I hate doing 2 and then 2, but I think that's what's gonna happen. So anyways, so basically at the front of our house, it's gonna come, the driveway's gonna come on this, around that tree right there, come across the front, and then right about here it's gonna curve back down and go back towards the driveway. So it'll be like a little teardrop shape basically. So that's kind of where we're at. So I think that I'll just be taking out this section here. I won't have this. We have a tree stump we're gonna have to remove that's right there. And I think after that, and we can cut into this section too, because I can't seem to get anything but the grapevines to grow on this hill that I made. So I'm thinking that we'll have somebody come and like maybe in with like a big electric equipment thing and help us kind of like at least flatten it out so that and then we can pack it with our car driving on it. Yes, okay, you're a very persistent cat who wants pets today, huh? Yes, you do. Okay, we'll give you pets. Give you pets. This is Angel baby. Rescued him before he got 8 when he was a baby. He was just born. He had him and a sibling, and the mom did not know what to do and like birthed them in the middle of the grass. One of the other cats, unfortunately, took off with one of the babies and devoured it. And I saved him and brought him inside. And so that's the story of how he's alive. But anyways, so yeah, I will be redoing all of these sections again eventually, and like completely revamping them or taking them out. But I'm thinking that this will be mostly like decorative with some, because my asparagus is still doing great, but we haven't even really harvested any, and it's definitely very, very wild. But I need to be able to get to it, and like, I don't know, it overgrows every year. But yeah, so it's definitely been a year of rest, and I'm really hoping to get back into my gardening in the next year. So that's why I'm giving you guys a little update. So things are definitely going to change over the next year, and I'll keep you updated along the way as I go and everything. But yeah, let me know what you think, and that's about it for now. I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, actually, I just realized I forgot to kind of mention that the other thing that we're probably going to end up doing is putting in, like I said, a fence. So like, as you can see, our driveway does this curve around and goes behind our house here. So, and ignore this, we're going to be doing new siding. We've decided what we're doing, but it's on the front side, and we're doing concrete boards actually, and then doing like a slurry, like a concrete slurry. So eventually that whole side is going to be looking like a concrete house, and then we're working our way around. So it's a lot of projects at once. It also costs a lot of money at once. But eventually we're going to have a fence that goes from the corner of the house right about here, and then it will come across here and then have a gate, so that we can still drive back if we want to. But for the most part, we're not planning to park back here. Although we may do like a curve around, so like a curve around and then just back up right here and park on the driveway facing down. So somebody could park there if we had like extra people or something. But I've looked at the front, up at the front of the house, and I forgot to mention this. There's going to be plenty of parking up there too. So I think it's really going to work out. And we will fence the other side of the property going across. That way we can have a truly like more of like a fenced in backyard situation. And there's more than enough space back here to garden. But that way, like if the cows ever got out, I don't completely lose all of like hard work gardening anyways. But yeah, and so that's it, I think, this time. Okay, bye. Just a few more. I did share this on a shorts recently, but I planted a bougainvillea right here, and I think I shared this at the beginning of this video probably, but anyways, I don't remember because I filmed it a couple weeks ago. But this is still doing really good. It's mid-October now, and I pulled my plants that I'm going to be kind of like protecting for the winter. I'll probably put most of these into the shop. And so, but I've got pineapples that I grew from the tops of pineapples. I've got more elephant ears. Yeah. Oh, Spooky. I see you, Spooky. What's wrong? I don't know. He's talking and talking. And then I've got to plant the echinacea at some point. And then I also have 3 crepe myrtles. There's 1, 2, 3. I've had them here so long that there's roots growing out of the planter to the bottom. But my goal is to actually put them at the front of the property where I showed you guys under the power lines. So that was kind of the intent of buying those. And they have grown quite a bit. And I really need to get them in the ground because they'll take off once they do. And so anyways, that is kind of the new goals, you guys. I have a lot of stuff going on, and I'm doing my full-time job plus a part-time reselling job. So I do both, and it takes up a lot of my time, which is partly why I haven't gardened in so long. But anyways, and then here's our trash trailer, getting trash stuff to go to the dump. And this is still growing. This blackberry is like, look at this, like it's going all the way out here. That has all grown since the last time I wove it up. So like next year, I think we're going to have a number of blackberries. It's doing amazing. But yeah, and it's a beautiful day. We're supposed to have major storms in the next couple days, like lots of rain and maybe thunder. I'm not sure, but lots and lots of rain, they said. But look how pretty it is today. It's gorgeous. So I thought I would end you on that. I keep saying I'm ending this, but I never end it, so it just keeps going. And this is the dumpster that I talked about. We're going to move the dumpster to the front. We still need to redo that shop as well. We did the roof, but we haven't sided it yet. And yeah, and I guess I will say Mike wanted tomatoes, which they did terrible this year. And then we planted, he did want them, so we picked some out at the store. And the only ones that grew this year had rotted or the bugs got to them. But now it looks like there's a few tomatoes. So we might get a couple tomatoes if they don't rot before I get to them. Especially with the rain coming, I'm not sure. Because they're, you know, it's not super hot. It is hot, but it's, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But anyways, it is finally getting there. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of this... I can hear somebody shooting a gun out there. Can you hear it? This is what it's like living in the country. You don't hear it every day or anything, but every now and then. So yeah, so this whole area I'm going to be working on. We have a water spout right here, and I have some sprinklers that go down here close to this. So we want to tap it in and get a sprinkler that actually goes over to the peach tree here so it can get more regular watered. And then we're going to get another peach tree because the one we bought died. This one survived, but the other one didn't. And so we're going to get a couple more, I think. And then I'll be doing a lot more like... I have to figure it out because I want to do like some raised beds, I think. And then I think I'm going to do more down on that section, but we have to put a water line in to go down there before I do any kind of gardening. So that is where we're at, you guys. It's a big, big project and lots of work. So pray for me because I need it. Anyways, thank you for watching. And again, and this time I am signing off. I'll see you next time.